how did the two of you decide it's going to be Kalyani?
We had
So everybody is now saying it was their idea. Like literally everyone. Dulquer says he was the first person who suggested. Tovi says he was the first person who suggested. Dom is like, no, I knew all along. So everyone at this point is taking credit for this. But I don't know who the real person is.
we had a set of options. I'm not going to say who the options
That's
were,
okay, of course.
but one of them was Kalyani, and I think first name on the list was Kalyani.
And once her name came in, I think we
I mean,
were
she
all...
was also very supportive of the option, because I remember telling B also about this, and B was like, I think she also felt like it would be something that Kalyani could pull off than the other options we had. So, and then we called her.
Yeah,
narrated.
there's also this...
And DQ had the same this thing. It was all mute. I mean, at the same time, it's not nobody is taking credit. It's not like
Imagine, of course.
Yeah.
What is the next movie?
it's about Chatan. The fruit is about the
That you're
character
sure of?
Chatan. Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to be an out and out Tovino Thomas.
Okay. So we'll have to wait till Odeon comes in.
No.
Oh, if I had to pick my scene is definitively the one where Chandra like literally rises and becomes one with the moon. I love it so much. Where you just rise up and it's so beautiful. I want to ask you a very weird question, which is that, of course, there's VFX and all of that, but how do you actually, make that happen amongst like an actor and director and writer? Because what do you do really in that scene? Like,
Do you want to tell them how high up I was? I was genuinely, I think, 100 and something feet up in the air. It was being pulled by a crane and one man. And I'm like, please, I hope he slept. We were shooting this at 3 or 4 in the morning. 3 or 4 in the morning, I'm like, please let him have his coffee. If he drops this,
I'm glad I asked you this question.
yeah.
That was one scene which whoever we narrated the script to was very excited about, to see how that shot is going to come when the movie comes out. And I think we had put in a lot of prep work for that. I mean, not with her, for the visual and for the setting and how this whole thing is going to look like. And when we finally cracked it, it was very fulfilling, I think.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because in that moment, like, I love the fact that we're looking up at her.
Yeah.
And I feel like this, there is so much that you do and you don't. Like, you're not wearing a suit, you're not wearing a mask. And at the same time, this sort of homage to everything that you must look up to. And I just think in that one shot, you serve, all women who need to be looked up to. And let's just do it, guys. They always talk about pan-Indian movies. But what I'm always interested is in pan-Indian love, because I feel like that is very different.
I like that.
Yeah. So, are you still getting offers of O negative blood?
I think as we spoke while I walked down here, I just saw another tweet that said, Madam, I'm O negative. Yeah.
No, it's amazing. That is, of course, the audience, Kalyani, but there's also support. And usually I talk to people who make Hindi movies, whether there's Alia and Priyanka and Sharvari, they're all like applauding the film. And I feel like that is so special, because I feel like this film means a lot to every woman who has wanted to succeed. Like, do you feel that? And I'm going to ask both of you this question.
I mean, more than every woman who's wanted to succeed, they're all very successful women that you just mentioned. But I think it's just very nice to see them support other films that are coming out in the South that, I mean, you don't always get that kind of attention in the North. And it's just so nice to see them come out and support. And some of them haven't watched the film, but they still realize that a movie like this is out there and it's doing well and I need to watch it. But I also need to tell people to watch it, because it's something that would do great for all female-led films. And so it's just nice to see that support. For sure, it's nice. And I think it comes from a place of genuinity, which is nice.
100%, yeah. What does the success of the film mean to both of you personally?
I've had a lot of messages from women who aspire to be in films, and they've all just taken this as a personal win. And that's been an unexpected outcome of this, because when we were working on it, we didn't think of that angle at all. And so many women have written to me saying, we've been wanting to make commercial films. We didn't know we could do it. I mean, of course, we were able to pull it off because we had a solid team backing us. But the fact that a woman-led film has made these numbers is encouraging them to like pitch their stories, and they have an example to lead with now, and they know that investors will probably give them time of day, and that's why these numbers are important, I think.
Correct. This is a success interview. So, what does it mean to you?
I mean, I think it's not just me. I think anyone that's put in the kind of work and passion that we've put in for the last how many ever months into this film, when that's being appreciated, there is a level of happiness that we would feel. It is definitely bigger than what I ever dreamed or imagined it to be. You can probably say it was a dream I never realized I had, but it's really nice when it's happening. But I see, like we said, if you look at it from the female perspective, if this even so much as slightly opens the door to these conversations and to have more people back such stories, it's a win. It's a huge win. It's our win. It's not my win. It's our win. So just, yeah, feels good.
No, that's lovely. But I have to say this, as someone who grew up watching your father's films, okay, he defined like what laughter is for my generation.
I don't think she has seen a lot of performances.
My dad brought us up like that.
I might have seen more films than that.
Yeah, for sure.
Listen,
Yeah,
like, big
but my
fan.
dad always brought us up like that. I don't think he ever wanted us to understand who he actually is to people. And I think, to be honest, I don't think I walk around. We call it Jada. What is Jada? In
Jada
English.
has arrogance.
Yeah, I don't walk around with the arrogance of, do you know who my father is? Because I don't know who my father is.
No, the point that I was getting to is that today we are talking about this pan-India phenomenon, right? But to me, Priyadarshan sir has been pan-Indian before the term existed, because he told stories, okay, primarily in his language, and then he told stories in different languages, most of which are talking about reboots right now. So I wanted to ask you, that, of course you said that, I don't know who my father is, but what did you perhaps take from there? Because I feel like there's something that he taught a lot of us. It was just for us to take it from him.
Ma'am, my entire work ethic comes from him. Like, if anyone has ever said something nice about the way that I work, it's that I work hard. And it's purely because it's the only way I know how to work, because the man that is my father, I've only seen him work that way. I have seen him, even at this age, with all the luxuries that he has, with like 100 and something degree fever, I have seen him hold a mic, shiver and say action. That is who he is. That's who he's been all my life. And so that's the only way I also know how to work. And if anything, I've always been grateful to him, not just for instilling the kind of passion that I have for cinema, but also the kind of work ethic that I have towards every opportunity that I get. I understand my privilege. I understand that a lot of opportunities come my way, but I try to be as responsible with it as I can, purely because of everything he's instilled in me.
Amazing. Thank you for that. Because, as I said, big fan. Big fan.